think who is the most alcoholic?
Ewan McGregor, Boris Johnson,
Zuba.
Gerard Butler. Maybe you will see the monster.
Hello. For my followers and subscribers, I would like to present my teacher and my friend Росс МасЛеллан. Ross from Scotland, from beautiful city Glasgow. And we have many interesting topics about Scotland and UK and Glasgow, and we'll discuss today. In addition to question from my friends and relatives, I would like to use the power of artificial intelligence.
Okay.
Maybe you're familiar, pub quiz.
Yeah, I know about pub quizzes.
So it's like when people play in pubs while drinking a beer, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't have any beer here, and it's a little bit early in the morning, but you know, we can try.
I suppose it's excellent activity because in Russia we don't like to make some playing during drinking, but it's fun. Why not?
The Russian people are more serious about their drinking.
Yeah, more serious. Speak mostly about politics during drinking. Yeah, and you know they're thinking about future of Russia because they suppose that Russian history is very complicated and Russian people is how to say selected from another. However, I suppose any people think the same about. Which soft drink is often described as Scotland's national drink?
Iron brew.
Oh yeah. I didn't know about that.
Yes, so in Scotland we have two national drinks. We have whiskey and iron brew, and everybody drinks iron brew. It's more popular than Coca-Cola or anything else.
It's an interesting fact. Next, this is I don't know. This is a secret for me. Which sport originated in Scotland? Rugby, golf, or football?
Golf. Golf was invented in Scotland.
Really?
And
I thought for some reason I thought about rugby.
We play rugby, but I think rugby was invented in England. But golf was invented here, and it was banned by the King of England or the King of the UK for 400 years. People were not allowed to play golf.
Gerarda Batlera. No.
Gerard Butler is from a small city called Paisley, which is not far from where I live. Maybe it is 15 kilometers. I've never seen him.
And somebody from Hollywood?
I have seen Ewan McGregor. I don't know. Ewan McGregor was in the Star Wars movies.
I know. This is my wife's favorite actor.
Yeah. One time he was making a movie in the street where I lived. So the movie company had closed the road. They were making a movie, I think, with zombies. And Ewan McGregor was just walking around outside my house. So, I've seen Ewan McGregor, and I've seen some local celebrities. People, maybe you would not know them in Russia, but just local TV stars.
I see. Yeah, MacGregor is very famous in Russia. It's like a sex symbol.
Yeah. So, I think he's getting a little old now, so maybe he's not so much of a sex symbol. But yeah, he's been in a lot of good movies. And
my wife said that she would marry for MacGregor.
Yeah.
If didn't met me. Yeah.
If he arrives in Russia. So you will have problems if he starts to make movies in Moscow.
First question from my friend Dmitry. Actually, it's not a question, it's a joke or anecdote. How to recognize bagpiper play good or bad?
Well, I think all of them play bad. They are very loud for people who have never heard bagpipes. They are so loud, and yeah, it's not beautiful music. I think, it's difficult to know whether they are good or bad. So your friend, his joke is correct. Impossible to know.
Next question from my relative. She is a sister. She's a wife of my brother.
Yeah.
So can I call her sister-in-law?
Sister-in-law, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's worrying about alcohol, and there is stereotype that British people like alcohol, and she worried, is it a problem or not?
So
in Scotland,
I think that yes, people here like to drink a lot, and everybody knows about Scotch whiskey, and the people here also drink a lot of beer. On a Friday night, if you go into the centre, it's nice. There's lots of nice bars, but there are also lots of people, fighting in the street, or making a lot of noise outside, or maybe they are making things difficult on public transport. If you get onto a bus at night time, there can be usually groups of men who have had too much to drink, and they are a little bit aggressive. So I would say we have a problem with alcohol in some cases, and probably the majority of people don't have any problems, but it's like in Russia or any other country.
What do you think? Who is the most alcoholic? Scottish, Irish, or maybe English people?
I think probably Irish. They have a reputation for being more alcoholic, more heavy drinkers, but Scottish people as well. I think probably Irish, then Scottish, then English.
Yeah, we should provide competition with Russia.
Yeah. I think we should. I have seen videos where British people go to Russia, and the Russian people are giving them, I suppose, vodka. Are giving them vodka all day, constantly.
So next question, not from adults. He's from my son, and what he know about Scotland, just Lochness monster.
Yeah, the Lochness monster. This is famous.
Yeah, famous. Yeah. Have you been ever in this lake?
I've been to Lochness, but I never saw the monster. But
of course.
The important thing to remember is that Lochness, the lake, is very big and very deep. So you could be there for 10 years and never see the monster, but the monster will still be there.
It's definitely,
yeah.
He asked, is it transparent water there? So
no, it's very dark, very black water. So this is why nobody can ever make a good photograph of the monster, because underwater it's too dark, and above the water there are lots of dark hills, and the dark sky that we have here in Scotland with all the clouds make it difficult to get a good photograph.
Very delicate question. Delicate question. I don't sure, but I'm sure that UK and Scotland is quite a freedom country.
Yeah.
So I assume that maybe there is no problem to buy marijuana there.
So it's illegal to buy, but it's not illegal to have. It's an unusual situation. So
it's decriminalized.
Criminalized, exactly. So in reality, this means that the police don't care, but it's not totally open. So if you wanted to buy some marijuana, you can find someone. You would meet somebody in a pub or in a bar close by, and it needs to be a little bit hidden, but not totally.
I see.
So it's quite common here, but the UK, it is not like in Amsterdam or in parts of America where it is totally illegal. It's still just decriminalized. So
because I think English people like Russian, they prefer maybe alcohol.
I think in general, people, most people will go to the pub.
More traditional about freedom. Is it legalized gay marriage or same-sex marriage?
Yes. So in Scotland, it has been legal here for I think 5 years, and in England for 3 or 4 years. I think it's not so common, but it's legal.
I know that you are fan of football, and of course you support your Glasgow Rangers,
Yeah, Glasgow Rangers.
But I'm just curious, do you know some Russian football player?
Yeah, well, we had at Glasgow Rangers in the 1980s, we had a lot of players from the USSR. So we had
old guard, old army.
Yeah, so I think actually these players were from Ukraine, what is now Ukraine. So we had Alexei Mikhailichenko and Oleg Kuznetsov, Andrei Kanchelskis, I know because I watch the Champions League, I see some of the Russian teams. Zenit St. Petersburg are pretty good, and CSK Moscow.
I want to ask you about what happened with Boris Johnson and politics.
So, yes, he is.
Honestly, actually, frankly, I'm not following very close for British politics because of very interesting debates in states.
Yes.
But I follow some details.
So here, Boris Johnson is doing the same thing he was doing 6 months ago. He is. I think he is more unpopular now because his response to the coronavirus is not very, very good. He, his strength as a politician is being able to talk well. He is a good speaker, but he doesn't focus on details. And in this situation where we are now with coronavirus and also with Brexit, there are a lot of details that need to be focused on. He's not good at this.
I see.
He's a bit like Donald Trump in that sense. You know, he can stand and he can talk and he can say stupid things, and sometimes he can say funny things, and but he doesn't seem to be able to focus on solving problems and actually doing any useful work.
But by the way, how the government force people to do something? For instance, for wearing mask, isn't some penalties for that?
There are. There is penalties. So they will give you a fine. You will have to pay up to £10,000, depending on the situation.
10,000 pounds. Yeah, it's
so
big.
If you don't wear a mask the first time, I think the penalty is £30 or something. But if you are doing something many times, the amount goes to 10,000.
It's a short question from a friend of mine, Olga. She is asking about the Scottish accent. Of course, everybody knows that it's different from classic English.
Yep.
And the other problem that she is working in Samsung and she facing issues with Korean accent.
Ah.
Yeah. And this is interesting question. We know that people can understand it, but what about AI, artificial intelligence? For instance, Google Assistant or Apple, can they recognize Scottish as well?
So usually Google Assistant is quite good. I think Google can recognize it. But many artificial intelligence systems, or many times when you have to speak, they don't understand Scottish people.
Okay. And at the end, I want to say our viewers who will watch us that Ross also has a YouTube channel, and it's for English. It's very useful tips, so you can subscribe as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Fluent English. So you'll
Fluent English. I will post the link.
Perfect. Perfect.
So thank you so much. Really glad to see you.
No problem. See you soon, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
You know, this is a secret thing. I will not put it in my video. I got COVID, so I got ill, and moreover, I was the, how to say, zero patient. After that, my kids, my wife.
Oh no! Is everybody okay now?
Yeah, as science says, it's very easy for children.
Young, yeah.
Just one evening of cold and nothing more.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
the sad fact that after that, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, they got COVID.
Oh.
So I'm feel myself terrible sorry because I'm the reason.
But it's not your fault. You know, this is a pandemic, and so many people. You know, you might have been the first in your family, but that you know, the virus is everywhere, so people would have caught it anyway.
And you know, it's really interesting because before I was so-called skeptic about that. First of all, I was confused about this symptom that you lost your smelling
and your taste as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was in shock when I lost any taste, any smell. And you know, we have with fresher in the toilet.
Yeah.
When you make
the air freshener to make it smell.
And I tried it every time when I go to the restroom, and it was no shock for me because during 3 days I didn't smell anything at all.
Wow.
So it's true.
Yeah, it's a very unusual symptom. It's a very unusual thing to happen, to lose your smell.
You know, I don't know the mechanism, biomechanism, how it happened, but I feel that something like film on my tongue and nose.
So that's the problem. It's like a film covering your taste buds and your the part in your nose that can smell. Yeah. It's crazy. I am lucky. So far, I have not had it, and nobody in my family has had it. So Fingers crossed. You know?